go give an update.
You get those updates? Yeah.
Yeah, on Lotus.
Head tilt update. This just in. Me go upside down.
He just knocked over the broom.
You need to chill, bud.
It's cute when, like, we're not trying to do anything crazy.
Good morning, YouTube. My name is Will. Enzo. Lotus. Wifey. And we are doing an update video today on Lotus specifically. So we've talked about his anxiety a lot in the past, but it's often buried in other videos. So I wanted to do just a dedicated update on everything we've done to help with his anxiety and his reactiveness, because we get so many questions on it that I want to just have a resource I can say, watch this video, and hopefully it answers all the common questions.
Yeah. So for those of you that have not followed us for a significant amount of time, you may not know, but Lotus is fear reactive. We actually figured this out by doing some experiments that our professional trainer recommended that we do with him to figure out, like, what is it that is causing him to be reactive? Is it something that is, like, buried in his brain, which in that case it's really hard to fix, not impossible, but definitely much harder to overcome? Or is this something where he's maybe been through some trauma of some sort before we got him, and, you know, that would be where it would be more fear-based? Will and I took him to a local dog park where we knew that in our minds, we thought that he would definitely be reactive there, and he was. So we walked around the perimeter, walked by it, very reactive. And then what we did, which was recommended by our trainer, is we handed him off to a stranger, which really wasn't a stranger. It's my cousin-in-law. So we handed Lotus off to him and had him basically do the same exact thing that we did with Lotus. No reaction. So didn't do his crazy barking, growling, nothing like that.
And just to verify, we did it like 3 more times.
Yeah, so this was like something where we did it, and then we had my cousin-in-law do it, and then handed back off to us, got the same result, and then handed back off to him, got the same result. And so...
And then we actually waited a few days, like a week.
Yeah, and then we did it again just to confirm.
With a different person.
This is something like we've put a lot of time, effort, research into, and really it was more about figuring out what type of reactivity he had, so that we knew what strategies that we could start implementing and things that we could do to work with him. So for Lotus, it's more of a fight or flight situation. And a lot of the time, humans actually have the same behavior, essentially, when they have gone through some trauma. So for Lotus, if he's with Will and I, because he's fear reactive, he's going to fight because he feels the need to protect Will and I. We have a really good bond with him. He trusts us, so he is going to fight in that situation to the death. And that is why he reacts the way that he does when he's with him or I. When he was handed off to my cousin-in-law, it's a flight situation, so he doesn't know this person. This is really a stranger to him and does not care about his well-being or protecting him, so he's going to run away or back to safety in those situations. So through kind of that long process, we were able to figure out Lotus is fear reactive, so his reactivity is based solely on fear. Whatever situation we're in, or people that we're around, or other animals that we're around, he reacts the way that he does out of fear solely. So it is something that is a little bit more manageable if you figure out kind of the strategies that you need to implement. And so this has really been, what, a 2-year process for us.
He's a little over 2 years, so yeah.
Yeah, it's been a very long process. I do feel like we're in a much better spot, probably the best spot that we've been in, which is why we're doing this update video since the beginning. So really kind of our journey was, you know, that was the first part, figuring out what kind of reactivity does he have, why does he react the way that he does, what are the strategies that we can use to kind of help him through that or feel more comfortable and not as afraid. So we started with things like the Thunder shirt or the Thunder jacket. Maybe
I think it was really just he felt weird in it at first.
Yeah. So we tried that for, it was maybe a week or two, and honestly, I feel like he felt very uncomfortable in it, but I knew that he could get used to it. But even when he was fine being in it, still wasn't really relieving any sort of like anxiety that he has or reactivity that he has. So we did try that for a couple weeks, really not with much success. We do have a lot of subscribers that recommend that. And for a lot of dogs, it does work. So with Lotus, and I'm kind of backtracking here, he doesn't just have fear reactivity. He also has a lot of anxiety with loud noises, weird situations.
Fireworks,
thunderstorms, wind is a big one.
If the camera shakes, Enzo has decided to lay under the tripod.
Yeah. So, and for Lotus, his biggest thing is like he doesn't bounce back from it quickly. So if there is a thunderstorm, it'll be days before we can get him to just like willingly go outside and be happy.
His memory is strong.
He'll cower when he's out there. He will go out like if you really force him to, but it's a chore to get him to go out. With 4th of July, which we just experienced, it was really like weeks before like he went outside and felt okay about being out there without cowering, without constantly running in and trying to hide.
They can watch that video and see like all the struggles that 4th of July brings.
He truly is traumatized when things like that happen. So like that's really, it's not just the fear reactivity, it's the anxiety aspect of it as well. So we tried the Thunder shirt, not really much success with that. We did return it. Another thing that we tried is Thunder Ease, which is something that I got with the Thunder shirt. It's just like a calming spray. Not much success with this either. Not enough. But I know that this does work for some people. So definitely could be something that worked for you.
And it could be a combination sometimes.
Yeah.
Like if they're struggling, sometimes a few small things combined.
Yep. After that, we moved on to Honest Paws, which is a great brand. I believe we still have them linked in our Amazon store. First, we tried their CBD oil. Their specific CBD oil cannot be mixed in with food. It has to just be given to them. That became a really hard situation, and Will is the one that gives them their breakfast in the morning. So like he was in here fighting Lotus to get him to take the CBD oil. We tried putting it on a plate, putting it in our hands, putting it on peanut, you know what I mean? Like we tried all of these crazy
peanut
things.
Butter, but like near
the peanut butter so that he would lick around the plate and get the oil as well. So that became like such a hassle. And we actually had him on that for a pretty significant amount of time.
For the record, as big of a hassle as it was, we were consistent. Like
yes.
We got him to do it every day.
Yes, no matter how much we had to fight him on it, he did get the CBD oil consistently every single day.
It seemed to help a little, but it didn't solve it.
No, definitely did not solve it.
But it was the first thing that we saw like a little
slight differences.
Although it was a lot, it was definitely like a lot of work to get that.
Yeah. So then we stuck with Honest Paws, but we switched over to their CBD oil cookies.
He would eat them mostly. If I put them in his bowl, it was rare that he wouldn't, but yeah, sometimes it was.
And like he's one where like Enzo really doesn't skip a whole lot of meals. Lotus is one that like he just skips some meals. So it was like if we put him in there and it was mixed in with the food and the soft food, and then we had to take him out. And for Lotus's weight, we have to give him 3 of them. So it wasn't just like, oh, 1 cookie, like no big deal. It was like getting him to eat all 3 of them became a thing. Even though it was sometimes hard to get him to eat them, we did make sure that no matter how much we had to fight him, we somehow got him to take these every day. We had a subscriber who I had talked to, and they had noticed like we were really kind of struggling to get him to take what we needed him to take. So they actually suggested this Pet Relief CBD oil. This one can actually be added to their food, which is really nice. So we thought like, okay, that's great. Like that'll alleviate the process of like what we already have going on. However, Lotus, again, likes to skip some meals. So then Will was in here during mealtime. Like he would have to make Lotus's meal and then take like a very small portion out of that meal to add this in because Lotus gets finicky with eating sometimes.
Make sure he ate that. And then if he did, then I had to give him the rest of the food.
Yes.
As long as he ate it.
Yeah.
But
that was the thing with this one is like with the other ones, it was like we could get him to take it no matter what. But like with this, if he didn't eat, it was like we were wasting a lot of it because then it was already added in the food. There was nothing we could do. We had to add it to the next meal, hoping that he ate that one.
The results seemed like I didn't notice any change though when we switched to
no
any
change.
of them.
No, it was really from the time that we started the CBD oil with Honest Paws through this, really consistent. Not much of a difference there. In addition to the CBD oil that we've done and all the other strategies that we've implemented, I came across, and I believe it was from a subscriber, NutriVet Pet Ease Extra Strength. This is something that we implemented throughout all of the other stuff that we were already doing. This is something that we give Lotus, or used to give Lotus. I don't think we've used it since the newest strategy. Yeah. But this was used. We
still give it to Enzo.
Yeah, we do still give it to Enzo. This was used if we knew there was a storm coming, or July 4th was approaching, and we knew like in an hour or so fireworks were going to be going off. If we knew it was going to be like a really windy day, or you could, and we never did because ours don't have to go to the vet very often, thank the Lord. But if they were going to the vet, this would be something. So it's
you've seen me in videos give those to him.
What I love about this compared to everything else, I think that this actually works, and it's all natural. So I really liked this. They have to, for their weight category, they have to actually take 3 of them. So you have to make sure with this, I know like I've read a lot of stuff on it. If they're not given the right dose, you really don't see a positive result.
And if the storm hit unexpectedly, good luck getting Lotus to take 3 of them.
Enzo would still take it.
Yeah, because Enzo, he doesn't like the storms, but he's not like petrified, or he doesn't get anxious.
He's not traumatized like Lotus is. So in the moment, this I felt like worked, but it works in the sense that it really just makes them go to sleep.
You make it sound like a sleeping pill, though. It's not like that.
It's not a sleeping pill.
You do, unlike the CBD, you do actually tend to see them be a little bit more...
A marked difference. Yeah. More calm. I believe that this is in our Amazon store.
Sure it is.
I'm almost positive. I got a deal the last time that I got them. They were like $4 a piece, and I got 3 bottles of them. So I haven't seen that deal since. So before I get to the very last thing that we have implemented, and the thing that we've seen the most results with, and where I feel like we're in a really good spot now, more so than we've ever been, I do want to say that these are not the only things that we've implemented outside of just this stuff that we actually give to him to try to help him. Lotus has been through extensive training. We work with him every single day on the anxiety and the reactivity. We have strategies that we implement for storms, like bringing the crate upstairs, covering up, putting a night light in there. The white noise machine goes in there. We try to comfort him as much as possible. I mean...
you can't enforce fear.
No.
Just be very clear with that.
Yeah, we get a lot of subscribers that
you're
will
enforcing
say,
a bad behavior, but you're not. It's one thing to enforce, because it's not a behavior, it's an emotion.
It's an emotion. And we've talked to professionals about the situation. Like, we have a good feel for the things that we should and should not be doing.
We let him get away with a little, not everything.
No.
We don't let him jump or anything like that, but we do let him get
away with a little bit more. Yep. So, lots of training every single day. You guys see like a very small glimpse of what actually goes on around this crazy house, but every single day, it's constant. It's a constant job to be working on it, and we have training strategies that we implement and things that we also bring in besides this. So I don't want you to think that this is all we've tried and then we've jumped to the last strategy. We still do lots of other things as well. So I had a subscriber, Denise is her first name, she reached out to me. She has a pup that is very much like Lotus when it comes to anxiety, not the reactivity part, but when it comes to anxiety, spot on Lotus. Just very much traumatized by storms, loud noises, fireworks, things like that. She was experiencing much of the same things, and she would watch our videos where he was in meltdown mode and kind of what that looked like. She reached out to tell me her story, which I really appreciated that. And she had got to the point, kind of like us, where it was really about quality of life for the pup. So Enzo was, before we got to where we are now, very lethargic, not playing with many toys. He was afraid to be outside. He was afraid to be in the house. The only time he was happy is if we were on a hike or at the park. Just afraid all of the time, and just felt like he was almost depressed.
During July, like even sunny days in the middle of the day.
I mean, just
because of all the fireworks that constantly went off.
Just constant anxiety, and it really is about quality of life at that point in time. And so when she reached out, she told me her story, and they had put her pup on trazodone. So she reached out to let me know that is working for you. That gives me hope that maybe that's something that we can implement with him. And so finally, Will and I sat down and had a discussion.
Now, for the record, we were using this already, but
No.
only as extreme storms.
Oh, yeah. So
I think that's what sparked this conversation.
The conversation that I had with Denise initially sparked me to contact the vet and say, can we just have a very small amount so that if it does storm or if there are fireworks that we can give to him that will help him feel a little bit better. And so we were doing it as I was kind of following her story, just on those very rare occasions where it was storming or something crazy was going on.
Definitely seemed to help.
We did notice a difference, which then even gave me more hope. My biggest concern with the trazodone is that it would mostly just sedate him, and I'm like, well, that's kind of defeating the purpose because I want to give it to him for quality of life reasons.
Not to make him sleep.
If he's already moping around and depressed and lethargic, putting him to sleep, that's not making much of a difference. So that was a top concern of mine. Anyway, so it was like week 4 for her, and she had seen so many crazy differences, and so we actually had a conversation and decided, like, let's just try it for 30 days. Like, 30 days, let's just get it to him 30 days consistently, and let's see if we notice any difference. So Lotus gets 100 milligrams twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening, and we tried that. We were past the 30-day mark. First week, no difference really at all.
Really. The second and third week, there was some difference, but they were also sick during that time. And I did a video, you guys know.
Yeah, they had a stomach situation.
So, honestly, he wasn't eating. Enzo even wasn't eating quite as much as normal. So, I think a lot of it was he was just literally exhausted because he was still going to the park, but then not eating.
So then a concern for us with the medicine was like, well, is it the medicine that's causing him to not eat and be lethargic and lay around and not have energy, or is it the stomach situation that they have going on?
Yeah.
So we still decided to stick it out through all of that. He still got it twice a day. And really, I would say at that, what do you think, like 3 to 4 weeks?
Yeah,
so 3 to 4 week mark. Started seeing like huge differences, like laying down in the back of the FJ, which just never happens. His rebound time for storms and fireworks has been insane. Like it rained, I don't know, a week or 2 ago, and like he actually went out in the rain, went potty, came back in. Like that just wouldn't happen before. He
heard a firework. And 5 minutes later was basically back to normal.
That never happens. Like he would be shaking in an insane way. Mm-hmm. You cannot console him in those situations.
I mean, a firework went off in the middle of the night one time, and he jumped up on our bed at like 2 in the morning.
You just couldn't console him for the rest of the night. The other thing is it stormed or rained. I didn't necessarily storm, but rained, I don't know, a week or so ago. And he knew it was raining outside because Will opened the door to get a delivery or something. And like literally within 3 minutes, I mean, he saw it.
He immediately went into meltdown.
He did a small freak out where he like does his little whine and jump thing. And within like 3 minutes, came in and ate dinner. Like nothing ever happened. And it was still raining outside. So that in itself is like a miracle. Like that would have never happened before. Like the rebound time is just...
I wouldn't even have opened the door.
No. We would have had sync on, the TV's on, music on.
I would have like gone out the back door and come around to get the delivery or something.
Yeah, I mean, it just...
To not let him know it was raining.
It's insane, the difference that we've seen in the time that he's been on it. And the longer that it's in their system, the more effective it is. So we're obviously going to continue this. We first said 30 days. Definitely something that we're going to continue to do. Will has been kind of out of the situation because of his surgery. So I've been taking the pups to the park and on hikes and out and about and things like that. I personally can see differences in the fear reactivity. And I don't know that it's not like going away. It's still there, but it's less.
And the recovery.
Yeah, the recovery from it is less. And so I don't really love having him on a prescription, but it has been definitely amazing for him. Like I feel like his quality of life is so much better. And like he's playing all the time now, and I feel like he's happy all the time now. Definitely the biggest difference that we've seen. He's definitely in the best spot that I feel like he's ever been in. playing all the time, getting toys out, less reactivity, less rebound time when it comes to storms, fireworks, things that would normally traumatize him for days or weeks on end.
Yeah.
Just in a much, much, much better spot that I never thought that we would get to. Like, I feel like I never thought there was going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. And I feel like we're finally in a really good spot now.
Yeah. Lotus, what do you think?
Pup?
What you got to say?
You got the happies?
Yeah, you always got the happies, Enzo. We know. All right, well, this 5-Minute Friday video that involved a wife is probably now a 15-minute Friday video.
Sorry.
But
hey, you can still use that, though. 15-minute Friday.
Gosh. And for the record, teal. That Enzo and Lotus, come on, people. Appreciate you guys as always. Subscribe for more German Shepherd content. All the links for everything that she mentioned other than trazodone, you got to talk to your vet about that below. And we'll see you guys on the next video. I said bye. Yeah. Enzo, say bye. Oh. Can't fix them all.